Hey kids, Comic Book Man here to remind you that the Alternate Reality Spotlight Sale begins on February the 15th and it runs through the 20th. It'll be a whole week of savings here at the store. And what's the spotlight on this month? Women creators. That's right. All of my trade paperbacks featuring female creators are going to be buy two, get a third one free. Now, which women creators are we talking about? Fine folks like Jill Thompson, Devin Grayson, Gail Simone, Elaine Lee, Catherine Immerman, and many, many others. They'll all be here at the store, and for that whole week, you buy any two, you get a third one free. That's only here at Alternate Reality, so stop on down.
Thanks for stopping by the Video Art House. Try not to make even more of a mess.
I leave you alone for a few minutes, and what happens?
Media News, Episode 55, The War of the Petunias.
Hey kids, how you doing? It's me, Comic Book Man. Welcome to my Video Outhouse. It's time once again for Media News, and joining me in the Video Outhouse for Media News is...
Good old JR. We started the show before we ever started camera rolling.
You betcha we did. You betcha we did, because we got to move this. Move it along, move it along. And the first story we got up involves... Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The Disney Fun Ride, which is just a money machine for the
going.
rat in Florida.
It just keeps going. The casting is beefing up. Now we have Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz.
Yes, the gorgeous Penelope Cruz.
Okay.
And
and they'll have Eskimo pie. Smooth and creamy, always delicious.
And
Eskimo pies.
The reason Penelope Cruz is probably in this film, outside of the large paycheck she'll be receiving, is
Cha-ching. No, she's doing it for the love of the art.
The director is Rob Marshall, who just directed 9, which starred Penelope Cruz. So I'm sure they got along very, very famously.
Oh, 9.
Her character.
That thing died big in the box office.
Yeah, well, oh, yes, it did. But she got nominated for an Oscar. God bless the Weinsteins for having deep pockets and buying nominations. But
Shh, no, that's a rumor. That's a rumor. They did not buy a nomination. That is a rumor which we have heard, and it is not in any way, shape, or form a fact.
Okay. So the fourth Pirates film, Penelope Cruz's
Legal disclaimer here.
The Pirates character she'll be playing is supposed to be the equal of Johnny Depp. They'll be foils together. There'll be a lot of witty banter and repartee between the two. And it'll be fantastic. And they start
watch me do my impersonation of me watching the movie.
Well, you know the other end of this? They start shooting in Hawaii this summer. You know what that means? Big vacations for the entire cast and crew. Everybody gets a payday and a vacation. It's fabulous. Coming out next May, kids.
You know what I'd do at the end of the movie? I'd have them cruising along, and they come across the minnow and the castaways.
That'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. Or CGI in Captain Bligh from Mutiny on the Mind.
Moving along with franchises, yet another franchise. This one is near and dear to all of our hearts. The Lone Ranger.
Yes, the Lone Ranger. And this is actually good news, because originally the Pirates guys were in charge of the Lone Ranger. The screenwriters were writing the screenplay for the Lone Ranger.
Great.
No more, my friends. Those screenwriters. Justin Haith, who wrote last year or the year before's Oscar-nominated Revolutionary Road, is writing the screenplay for the Lone Ranger. So could this mean quality? Could this mean quality for the Lone Ranger?
Maybe.
I hope so.
Maybe. I hope so. Lone Ranger deserves it. He's a wonderful character, which we have loved ever since we were little tykes.
Iconic. And the best news is that those Pirates writers are out of here. Out of here.
Speaking of little tykes, my daughter loves the... What is it? What does she love?
What does she love?
The Night at Museum movies. The Night at Museum movies. Those things with what's his face who does the thing with the museum. Ben. What's his name? Ben
and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry. Anyway,
Ben Franklin.
Anyway, you got a big story on that one.
You know, I couldn't care less about the Night at the Museum movies.
I couldn't either, but she does love them.
The kids love them, and there's a third one coming because they make a lot of money around the world. Now, this one I may go see. The reason being, the big rumor here is
it's 3D.
It's going to be set in the Liberace Museum. That's the big rumor. That may get me out of my comfort zone and go to see that bad boy. Because
they run out of museums already?
You know, there's so many comic possibilities with that I would just hate to see that thrown away.
Have they run out of museums already?
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. There you go, Ben Stiller.
Yeah, not Ben
You're
Franklin.
great, Ben. I love your work.
We love you, man.
I'll never forget you.
What is he? Yeah.
The Liberace Museum makes a buttload of money.
Thanks there.
That's the angry Bo. Once again, back. The Liberace Museum makes a lot of money.
Bo just his sideline job, his second job. He's a curator at the Liberace Museum.
By the way,
yes.
Oh my God!
Johnny Depp is still playing Tonto in that Lone Ranger movie.
And by the way, don't touch me. Okay.
I'm a card-carrying member of the Liberace.
Johnny Depp is still playing Tonto.
Where's my 20? Who cares about Blue Beetle, by the way?
Speaking of a third sequel in a franchise series, we have the third Riddick film.
It's coming, yeah.
It's a go. It's a go.
It's a go.
After the very successful first one, which was Pitch Black,
Pitch
which cost nothing to make and made a buttload of money. It was actually quite...
We know nothing about media news, but we talk about it anyway.
Comic book man is a mind like a sieve. It goes in and comes out.
We don't know a thing about it.
There's very little time in there.
We might as well be talking about splitting atoms here, baby.
Whatever.
Yeah, but the third Riddick...
The second film cost a buttload of money and sucked.
and nobody went to see it because they tried to do the big space opera route and nobody cared. This third film, surprise, surprise, is going to scale it back to the smaller, darker, character-driven film. David Twohy, who wrote and directed the first two films, is back to write and direct this film. Vin Diesel's already signed on the dotted line, but he won't be available until he finishes next year's Oscar-nominated Fast and Furious 5.
Fast and frivolous.
Yeah, whatever that thing's going to be called.
Doctor Who! Doctor Who!
Yes,
Everybody's
yes.
favorite comic book writer, Neil Gaiman, is attached to the Doctor Who property.
Yes, he just announced on his blog this very week that that he will be writing an episode not for this coming season starting in the spring, but for the following season after that, which tells you the show's already picked up for like the next 10 years probably. The title of the episode is called The House of Nothing. Neil's happy as a clam, he said, because he's been a fan since he's been a wee lad growing up in the UK and has been looking for the opportunity. He joins actually a list of other writers. Richard Curtis, who wrote, what was that?
Oh, don't look at me.
No, you saw this movie. I know you did. It
What?
was the Hugh Grant thing.
Which one?
That
He's done
funeral,
lots of
the bride.
Four Weddings at a Funeral.
That's the one. Yeah.
Four
Once
Weddings at a
again,
Funeral.
we're your media experts here. But he's also joining the writing ranks of the show as well. So there's.
I go to websites that 24/7 they update stuff like Penelope Cruz tripped out of her car, getting out, and I think to myself, who the hell writes this stuff and reads it and who cares?
Well, somebody's got to fill up the internet with something.
Okay, our last story is Akira. Our last story is Akira, which isn't necessarily a franchise, but we missed it on Comic Book News.
So
we're dumping it here at the end.
So kill
also,
us.
partly because, the reason we're dumping it in here at the end is I really don't care about manga, and so I skipped over it.
Not that you don't carry a million
But
books.
you know what? It doesn't matter what Comic Book Man cares about. What matters is what you care about.
Exactly.
And that's why we're doing this wonderful story about Akira.
And our vast
So what's going on with Akira?
Well, our vast cadre of viewers, you can afford to alienate the manga fans because we have so many fans.
You're an alternate reality. Buy 3, you get a 4th free on all mangas. There you go. That's how I'm friends with all my manga fans.
Wow, you capitalist pig
You
dog.
betcha. Oink oink.
The Hughes brothers, who just gave us the wonderful House of Eli, which I wasn't really a big fan of.
Book of Eli.
Whatever, House of Eli.
Book of Eli.
Which I get pancakes from.
The media man himself. He wrote a review on the damn thing. You talk about me. He writes a review on it. He can't get the title right.
That's the sequel, is House of Eli.
House of Eli.
It's where you get your suits. Come into the House of Eli.
I came here for Moons Over my hammy. I thought they were free.
Annie Hoosers. They also did From Hell, which was another comic book foray for them. They're in negotiations to direct it. It's been an on-again, off-again project for a long time over at Warner Brothers. Live action, by the way, not some CGI
Live action Akira.
nonsense.
Last I heard, they're doing live action Akira. Who was it? Was attached to it? It said it cost way too much money, and they pulled the plug on it.
Actually,
DiCaprio,
Leonardo DiCaprio was going to produce that.
And it cost too much money.
But now the Hughes brothers probably are cheaper, right? Because, it's the Hughes brothers. But anyway, what they're going to do is, for those of you out there, you're thinking, well, that was like a lot of books, wasn't it? It was a whole bunch of books. Yeah. What they're going to do is the first movie, they're hedging their bets here, are going to be, I believe it's the first 3 books in the series.
Okay.
And then each movie after that would be 3 books in the series.
Well, that would make sense.
If they get beyond the first.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't get beyond the first movie, it doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. The masters of media news are done. Once again, the masturbators of media news, and we're so glad that you sat here and watched us just make asses out of ourselves.
Yeah.
But you can go to the store's website and read all the media news that Bo sends me. He's the angry man that was here before. Exactly. Yeah. And JR, the reviews that he sometimes remembers the titles for, he sends me.
I'll see you
and where's the store's website? It's up. And where's the store's website at?
Sarah.
Who's in charge of time?
www.myalternatereality.com. Write it down for next time.
So stop off at his store's website and read whatever I said before. And until next time, this comic book man
And it's JR.
saying, Hasta luego! Alternate Reality is located at 3149 West 111th Street. That's the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in Chicago, the beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood neighborhood. You can always reach us at 773-881-HERO or at the store's website, www.myalternatereality.com.